But not only just what has gone wrong, but understand the work system, okay, within which errors have gone wrong. So, a lot of the NHS organizations have yet to use the system yet, but I have another role elsewhere, and this is what we do. We teach NHS staff how to conduct investigations, okay? So, by me introducing it to you here, hopefully, before you go onto your NHS post, etc., you would have already got an idea of the CT model. Okay? There are many different frameworks or models out there, but this one is one that we have found, I suppose, easier, or it makes sense to people. It's less complex than the others that we know at the moment. So we're still on a learning journey, and we're all learning together. So I've got lots to learn as well. I don't know everything about this, but what I know, I will share with you today. And I know you all have things that you can share with me too. Okay? So, apply the SEEPS model, and then also, thirdly, possibly thinking about ways that we can reduce the risk of errors. So, I would say that sometimes it's not possible to totally eliminate a problem. As we talk about later on, you will know, I've given you a lecture on systems and complex socio-technical system and how healthcare is a complex system and how sort of, in a way, outcomes. It's not A plus B equals to C. There's a lot of interactions that happen. So we might not always be able to eliminate problems, but we can try and manage them as best as we can. And the way to manage it is to try and understand our system in the first place before we start to make any kind of changes. Okay? And because it's an IPL, we want us to be able to reflect on our ability to work with others as well. So do make sure that you're sitting within groups of pharmacy and also nurse students, not just all pharmacy or all nurse. Okay? You can move later on. Okay, we have two tasks today. Task one is fundamental, as I said, all about what a systems approach is. And then the second half of the morning, afternoon by then, we're going to analyze a medication error. So it's a fictitious case that I've made up, but very likely that it could actually happen in practice as well. Okay, so first task, systems approach. What is a system? What do you think a system is? You put up your hands with some suggestions. Pharmacy students, you know this? No pressure. What is a system? What comes to mind? You can see the slide there. So you can tell me. We haven't quite gone into group work yet. Okay, so let's explore what a system is. Okay? So a system is a set of interrelated activities. So these are things that people do, or entities. So when we talk about entities, this might mean people, this might mean tools, hardware, software, it might mean spaces, like buildings, communities, etc. So different entities, set of related activities or entities with a joint purpose. So they all work together to achieve the same purpose or purposes. Okay? And systems have boundaries. Okay? You can have a clear fence. You can say, this is my system. You can have physical boundaries. So it might be as obvious as moving a patient from one ward to another ward within the hospital. That's a physical boundary. Or it could be service boundaries as well. So transfer of information is the most classic one, where you can't actually see the information being transferred, but there is a service boundary within that. So there are inputs and outputs. And what happens is that individually, the different parts of the system on its own does its own thing. But if you look at a system as a whole, what it does within a system is more than just what for example, a computer does or a single person does. So the whole is greater than the sum of its parts. It's more than just A plus B equals to C. Okay? More than just one person using this mic saying something. There's a lot more to it than just that. Okay? So what happens within a system is that there are different entities that are linked together. So they don't stand alone, they link together. And because they link together, they have an impact on one another. Okay? So I see some of you copying down. I can send you the slides, so don't worry about trying to copy everything down. Okay? So there are different types or sizes of systems. It can be small, medium, large, or what we call here micro, meso, and macro level.